Doc A and myself came up with 3 categories for each of the 3 positions: guards, forwards, and centers. We came up with 3 categories within each position: dependable studs, which are players that we don't need to even worry about for production; sleepers and/or breakout stars, players that can be stars or that can be contributors to your fantasy squad; and the last category, potential duds, meaning guys that come in with a lot of hoopla that can disappoint. So without further ado, here are the guards. And Doc A, great list here of 4 guards that are definitely, when they're healthy, production is regular.
Yeah, they're all first-round fantasy picks. Wade, you didn't tell me when we set this up that the studs had to be super dependable. I'm not sure I would have put Wade on this list, and Yao Ming, who we'll get to in a little bit, is another
when they play
example there. But
I guess when they play.
Studs nonetheless. Dwyane Wade was going in with a 5th pick in most of the fantasy drafts I did this year. Kobe's a top 3 or 4 pick. Chris Paul is the number 1 or number 2 pick, and Darren Williams, who's actually hurt right now, was going late in the first round, and at the latest I saw him go was early second, but he's a first-round pick as well.
Right.
These guys are all studs. Everybody, after watching Dwyane Wade at the Olympics, seems to think that he's going to be healthy this year and actually make it through a whole season.
Right.
There's a 60% chance of that happening. We'll see.
But you know what?
It's a long season.
It worked out well for him though for him to shut it down like 20 games into 20 games left last season, and I think that helped him be able to get his strength together for the Olympics and of course for this season.
And that's a great point. Nobody ever really talks about it. I haven't really heard people giving the Heat some props for that move. But really, them shutting him down, letting him get ready for the Olympics, letting him get his knee right. They won 15 games last year. I mean, they needed Dwyane Wade on the floor like I need another kid, it just didn't need him. And so that was a great move by the Heat, shutting him down. It helped the U.S. win a gold medal, and he's as healthy as he's been in 2 years right now. He looks great.
Yes, that is for sure, and he contributes in all 8 categories. Absolutely. Well, except for 3-pointers. I mean, he'll still if he plays for 75 games, he'll probably hit around 50 3-pointers, 50, 55. So it's
I'd say at least he before he got hurt, he was starting to shoot it a little bit more. He could hit close to 1 a game this year.
That would be nice.
I don't know if that's a definite, but with James Jones on the shelf for Miami, somebody's gonna have to shoot 3s for them.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Oh wow! But moving on to sleepers and breakout stars, we have interesting. I want to have you talk about Kalani Azubuike. I mean, do you think he'll get enough playing time to make a difference?
I don't know. He was off the radar until about 2 or 3 days ago. And this is all, anytime you're dealing with the Golden State Warriors, which is who he plays for, you're dealing with Don Nelson. And Don Nelson changes his mind more often than I take a shower.
Right.
He changes his mind 4 times a day. And who knows what he's really going to do. He's already named 4 different starting point guards this year, the latest being Steven Jackson, which I don't know if I believe that or not, but they do want Steve Jackson to play some point guard. But the thing about Azubuike, he could start at shooting guard, especially with Corey Maggette hurting if they put Jackson at point guard. But the thing that really got me is Marcus Thompson, who's a beat writer for the Warriors. He actually wrote something the other day about how Azubuike was head and shoulders athletically way above anybody else on the team.
Yeah.
He was playing at a different level. His confidence is through the roof. And if Nelly gives him minutes, I see no reason that he should not at least be worth a 5th or a 6th round pick when it's all said and done this year.
Right.
So he's a guy you can pick up after your draft or at the very end of your draft. And if you have a player like Mike Dunleavy who could be out for a while, he's a great fill-in for that situation.
Wow. No, I definitely look forward to seeing as a bouquet, receiving that opportunity, because he definitely is a solid player. That's for sure. From the times that I've seen him on TNT, that's the only way you can see Golden State in the New York City area.
That's right.
But I wonder. But also Derrick Rose too. I mean, this kid, he can end up averaging over 5 rebounds, as well as definitely averaging over 5 assists and double-digit points.
Yeah, he could average like 22, 7, and 5 with a couple steals and a 3.
Ooh, you said 22? 22 points?
He could. I don't know. He's blown out of the gates in Chicago. I'm extremely excited about him. I'm trying to trade for him in every league I'm in. I'm trying to draft him. I'm bumped him up a round earlier than I should have to make sure I get him. I'm just really excited about him. There was not even a hint of talk of him not starting at point guard tonight. Kirk Heinrich's even going to come off the bench, apparently. This job is Derrick Rose's. It's going to be his job all season as long as he's healthy, and I think he's going to have a huge rookie season.
Yeah, I wanted him to. I wanted him to in the 8th round, and I couldn't get him, so I was like, oh well. But
you know, the guy on this list that I'm catching a lot of heat about and could really come back to bite me is Rodney Stuckey. And he's the young stud in Detroit. Now,
Right.
you talk to people in Detroit, and they love Stuckey.
Yeah, he can play.
It's all about Stuckey.
Exactly.
Talk to the average fantasy owner, and they're like, what makes you think that Stuckey is going to be able to do anything when he's playing behind Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton? Which, you know, that's a good question, actually. And I could be completely wrong, and Stuckey could be buried on the bench all year. But, you know, my take on that is Coach Curry says that Stuckey's his 6th starter. He's going to play him 25 to 30 minutes a game at least.
That's right.
And he's kind of streaky. He seems like when he's good, he's real good, and when he's bad, he's real bad. But when he gets hot and puts it together, man, I think that we're going to start to see Chauncey Billups. We're going to see his minutes wind down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, because also, too, they're going to want to rest Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups has been in the league since 1997. So that's, you know, and also he has a lot of mileage, and he had some injury problems, of course, last year as well. So I think they're probably going to give Billups a little bit of rest, you know, so they can be able to, you know, prepare for the playoffs, because Detroit will be a top 4 seed in the playoffs. So.
Yep.
So I think, you know, Stuckey, that will definitely help him be able to get some production. That's for sure. I think that's beautiful pick to put him there as a sleeper.
I love Stuckey this year. I'm excited about him.
Oh, I loved him in Eastern Washington too. I mean, he just strong. He's such a strong, physically strong player, and all he has to do is just get a consistent jump shot from the perimeter, and he definitely will be, by next season, with Rip Hamilton being a free agent, they're not going to re-sign Rip.
No, they're not, and I think Stuckey's probably a borderline all-star next year.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. The guy has his offensive game is so diverse, definitely. And moving on to the potential duds, Jason Terry. Oh God, great pick, because I stayed away from him in my draft.
I mean, even when he's starting, he shoots threes, he gets some assists, he scores some points. But his production's been tailing off for the last few years. Now the Jet has been left in the terminal. Antoine Wright is going to start at shooting guard in Dallas.
Yeah, and a better defender. Wright's a better defender, too.
Better defender. And he's got offensive game. He's just never had a chance to show it playing behind Vince Carter.
And Richard Jefferson, right.
And RJ. And so JT's on the bench. He's still going in the middle of fantasy drafts. He'll still probably find a way to score and hit threes, but I have no interest in owning him this year.
Yeah.
And Mikhail Petrus, I got excited when I saw he got traded to Orlando. I was like, oh, man, we'll finally get to see him, get out from under Nelly's wrath and get some playing time. And because he's an 8-category player, man. He hits threes, he blocks shots, he steals, he rebounds, he does it all. Problem is, man, he's in Orlando. He's going to have to fight Hedo Turkoglu, Dwight Howard, Jameer Nelson, Rashard Lewis for the basketball, man. I mean, I don't care who you put in that shooting guard spot. They aren't going to get the ball.
Right, absolutely, and it's going to be tough for him. He will have some games, but it'll be few and far in between.